EPA is expected to set limits on greenhouse gas emissions by new power plants. NYTimes.com. Subscribe. Digital/home delivery. Log in. Register now. Help. Homepage. Today's paper. Video. Most popular. Edition. US/global. Search all NYTimes.com. US. World. US. Politics, Education, Texas. NY/region. Business. Technology. Science. Health. Sports. Opinion. Arts. Style. Travel. Jobs. Real estate. Autos. EPA is expected to set limits on greenhouse gas emissions by new power plants. By Michael Wines. Published September 13, 2013. Following the up on President Obama's pledge in June to address climate change, the Environmental Protection Agency plans next week to propose the first-ever limits on greenhouse gas emissions from newly built power plants. Connect with us on Twitter. Follow @NYTNational for breaking news and headlines. Twitter list, reporters and editors. But even before the proposal becomes public, experts on both sides of the issue say it faces a lobbying onrush and an all but certain court challenge. For a vast and politically powerful swath of the utility industry, operators of coal-fired plants, and the coal fields that supply them, there are fears that the rules would effectively doom construction of new coal plants far into the future. While details of the EPA's proposal remain confidential, experts predict that it will include separate standards for carbon dioxide emissions from plants fired by natural gas and by coal. Plants using comparatively clean gas would be permitted to emit perhaps 1,000 pounds of carbon dioxide per megawatt-hour, a ceiling within easy reach using modern technologies. Coal-fired plants, meanwhile, may be allowed to emit as many as 1,400 pounds per megawatt-hour. But coal is so heavily laden with carbon that meeting even that higher limit would require operators to scrub carbon dioxide from their emissions before they reach the smokestack, and then pump it into permanent storage underground. While each plant is different, a generic version of the most advanced coal-fired plant in existence, ultra-supercritical plants that use enormous heat and pressure, still emits more than 1,600 pounds of carbon dioxide on average, said Howard Herzog, the senior research scientist at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's Energy Initiative. By comparison, the 550 megawatt version of the most advanced natural gas plant might be expected to emit 790 pounds of carbon dioxide, the Federal Energy Department has estimated. Carbon capture technology has been proven to work in trials, but the industry says that the infrastructure to ship and store such vast deposits of carbon does not exist, and that the technology is in any case so costly that it would make new coal plants economically unfeasible. The American Public Power Association, a group of publicly owned utilities serving 14% of electric customers, urged the White House in a meeting on September 4 to cap coal plant emissions at no less than 1,900 pounds per megawatt-hour, arguing that carbon capture technologies will not be commercially feasible for at least 8 years. Some experts with ties to the power industry suggest that the EPA is inviting a lawsuit if its new rule forces coal plants to use carbon capture technologies before they are ready. During 4 decades of enforcing the Clean Air Act, the EPA has always talked about using demonstrated technologies, something out there in commercial use, said Jeffrey R. Homestead, a lawyer with the firm Bracewell and Giuliani, who was the EPA's assistant administrator for air and radiation under President George W. Bush. If EPA finalizes the rule that requires carbon capture, I am sure there will be a legal challenge. I think EPA is taking a pretty big legal risk here. Those who support strict limits on greenhouse gas pollution take issue with that, saying the act requires only that clean air technologies be adequately demonstrated, a loosely defined standard that they say was deliberately devised to encourage innovation. Indeed, they note, power industry officials themselves have said that carbon capture principles have been widely used for decades in other fields. The idea that pollution control technology is too expensive to implement is a familiar theme, said Megan Cernsky, a lawyer with the Environmental Defense Fund's Climate and Air program. It's not a novel response to an environmental regulation. Much as automobile companies integrated pollution controls into cars without going